Your search is over, now welcome to First Mint. Looking for NFT content? Look no further, cause this is it. From Top Shot to blockchain, they got the data chops, analysis, and pack drops, the show's equator hot. LG and Phil D, the best amongst others. Best brothers to happen to balls since the Ball brothers. So settle in, cause it's time for the best show. Ayo Quad, who we reppin'? First Mint. Let's go.
Whoa! We should just stay frozen one time. That'd be really cool.
I knew if I didn't say anything that you were going to say. And literally, you just missed like the Genie's Marketplace announcement.
Please stop.
Cole took a screenshot of you and added "whoa" under it.
Honestly, man, I don't know what to do. So much stuff going on, LG. I can't keep up. I just can't. Like, people are like, "Do you have a full-time job?" I'm like, "Yes." That makes it that much more complicated to keep up with anything that goes on in the NFT space. It is almost impossible, man. It's exciting. The adrenaline is huge. But yeah, I was doing a completely separate event right before this. I'm getting all your messages. I'm getting tons of DMs all over the place telling me, "Oh, you're missing this with Genies." And you know Genies and how I feel about Genies. So I was ready to just jump off that platform and join the Genies fireside, but I can't do that, man. I was committed and engaged to that. So I'm really feeling it. And now we have Record Shop to keep us busy too. It's just like I told someone today, LG, I said, between Record Shop, Top Shot, and Genies, I may as well take the entire fall off. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what I'm going to do, man. I really don't. So
it's true. And that's the thing. That's the thing. What's crazy about the NFT space is that it's 24/7. It doesn't sleep. It sucks you in. Just when you think you're going to get like a chill day off, that turns into one of the craziest days. And that's mainly what we're going to talk about today, because this is the First Mint Live. I'm LG. It's the real Phil D. We have a packed show for you guys tonight, mainly about NFTs. We're going to start off with a little NBA Top Shot action. We have Austin Kent in the house, the head of content for all the stuff at Top Shot. And then we have Obi Fernandez from Record Shop, pretty much one of the hottest drops of the week, if not in a long time. One of the ones that Phil has been a huge part of. A lot of people, to the point where people are now accusing Phil of working at Record Shop. That's how much this thing has blown up and kind of been part of the community. Have been super fun. And we just some people just got a really interesting airdrop about an hour ago, including myself, that we'll go through. After Obie, we're sticking to the music theme tonight. We got Tools of Rock, another cool NFT that is dropping just in the next couple of days. So we're gonna have the guys from that on the show. This is gonna be a packed show. We're gonna try and move through it fast as we usually do and do a bunch of fun giveaways and all that stuff for you guys, the chat, the best part of the chat. Phil D, before we kick it off and we get to Austin, what do they got to do?
Listen, I know we're on Twitch, so we don't say what we used to say, but you got to smash, and I mean absolutely pound it to the point where that little mouse of yours almost breaks and you have to buy a new one. You need to smash the follow button, all right? If you've got it in you, you can even subscribe to our channel now. And I know we got a lot of donations last time in terms of subscriptions. I think 30 people were lucky enough to get a subscription to the show or to the network. But you can actually subscribe as well as follow and turn on the notifications, because we may go live to air out of nowhere. With the amount of drops happening these days and all the special things happening in the NFT space, it is very possible that the First Mint, out of nowhere, when there's breaking news, if LG gives me the keys to the Twitch account, it is possible that instead of tweeting these things, you see me go live and break the news live. I think with Genies, we're going to have to lean in that direction, and Record Shop's taking us there too.
You've been doing a great job with Twitter Spaces, man. I woke up the other day and you were on a giant Twitter Spaces with a project that was selling out. So I don't even know if you need Twitch at that point, but it's true. We finally have graduated in the Twitch levels of whatever they are. You can now sub to the channel. Last week, Plunge Father donated 30 subs to random followers of the First Mint. So hope you guys enjoy those for the next month. I honestly don't really know how Twitch works, so I don't know what the subs get you. Maybe you can use some kind of cool emoji or whatever. Maybe we'll look into that, or Quad can come on later and tell us a little bit about it. Without further ado, let's get to our first guest. He is the man behind the content that you see from NBA Top Shot, and we're not really sure what that means, so he's going to tell us a little bit more about it in a minute. He's joining us for Rapid Fire directly from Dapper Labs. Please welcome to the First Mint for his debut, Austin Kent. Wow. They are happy to have you, man.
Wow.
They're excited that you're here, Austin.
I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, for sure,
Wow,
man. Austin, how's your week been? Because a lot of people right now are saying, hey, like it's, you know, Top Shot's preparing something big. That's why we're not seeing too much, right? But we gotta hear it from you. Are you guys chilling out, enjoying the summer right now, or are you guys working way behind the scenes, cranking out something big?
Well, I wouldn't say it's a very relaxing off season. A lot of things cooking. We've been pretty busy. Fun busy, a different kind of busy. It's like my first off season, being involved with the project, and so it's been fun. Definitely, the routine changes versus when you're in the season. You're in a routine, but no, definitely not relaxing. And we're having a lot of fun planning the next great stuff.
Because your last gig was at Slam, correct?
Yes. Yeah. I worked for Slam for a few years. I was the news editor there. So, usually the off season, specifically free agency and draft time is crazy for me, but for different reasons. I'm like, constantly writing about it. So this was the first sort of free agency season where I could enjoy it as a fan, with the transactions.
Nice.
So news editor there for about 2 years, and I did a lot of dev work there as well, with their store and with their website and everything.
Oh, nice. Okay. So tell me, like, then I'm really curious about that then. Like, what's the kind of work that you're doing now compared to then? Like, what is it? How does that kind of affect like the flow of the season and the off season? I'm really curious.
So, I work on the live operations team, and you guys have probably spoken with Alan Carr. So I work on the team that does everything from taking the video, like the video content that we get from the league, and basically like processing that, curating it, and eventually minting it. I leave the minting to people much smarter than me. Where I sort of fit into that position is like strictly in the sort of content editorial sense. So it's not, there's not a whole lot of similarities to what I was doing at Slam, other than the fact that being like way too into the NBA is like basically
that's the criteria.
That's the criteria. Yeah. So, I just had a blast. It keeps me as close to the game as ever, probably closer, to be honest. And it's a lot of fun. It was a big change because I was doing, even before Slam, I was writing all over the place, but so happy to have made the switch. I'm having a blast with it. So
nice, man. Well, we're happy to have you. That's very cool. That's cool. I didn't realize that was kind of like more what you're doing, like working with Alan, getting the content from the league, man. Like, I think that's super cool. Like that. Or would you consider this a bit of a dream job at this point? Because I know Jacob's talked about that in the past, about, when we had him on the show months ago, he was like, this is where I want to be doing this right now. For you, is that kind of where you're at?
Yeah. I couldn't even believe it. Like early on in the process, when I sort of discovered Top Shot and Dapper, I was very intrigued because it was a Canadian company doing work in the NBA space. So as I spoke with Katie early on, because she was always giving the presentations, and I'm like, is there a way I can get involved in this? Like, I'm very interested, I didn't really, I was always living in Toronto when I was working for Slam, which is in New York. So the idea of being involved with a Canadian company was very appealing. So I'm like, this is the type of stuff I could do. Like, but this Top Shot was so early at that point that she's like, well, I don't know that we have a spot for that just yet. But then it wasn't long after that where I started freelancing and writing the captions. That was my sort of in with the company. That was the in, yeah. Writing the play descriptions,
captions, yeah.
Yeah, and then so I did that for a while, and then things just sort of blew up for Top Shot, and it was all hands on deck, and so it seemed to be a natural sort of place for me to like lend my skill set to help with the, adding that sort of additional layer of expertise to the curation of moments, like making sure that every moment that actually gets to the platform is there for a reason. And just being a bit more picky and hands-on about, what plays we use and where they go, that sort of thing. And it's grown from there.
Nice. Nice, man. That's crazy. All right. So now we know when there's moments that you like or you don't like that are on Top Shot, or you don't like the caption, come for Austin.
Hit me, yes. I love it. Hit me with anything. On Twitter, on Discord, anywhere. I love it. I love when people I know when something big has gone down in the NBA because my phone starts blowing up with people adding me, and it's just perfect. I love how engaged this community is.
Great. Austin, now that we made it through that, now you got to run us through this, because one of the moment descriptions that caused the most chaos was, I think, Cool Cats 3, when people thought game winners were coming, or Ice in the Veins. And you had a bunch of moments out there that kind of referred to Ice in the Veins and Cold. And I remember our good friend Mick was all over these captions. Was that on purpose? Were you trying to tease people, or was it just, so you're smiling already, man? Something tells me you had something to do with it, right? Did that have anything to do with that big game that was being played around Cool Cats? Because people legit lost their minds, man. People are analyzing those captions like you analyze, like, a murder mystery or something like that, or I can't find a good example, but you know what I'm saying.
I try not to get too cryptic in the captions, but I do. I kind of joined the team full time right in the middle of Cool Cats, and the first Cool Cat set that I put together was the one where all the colleges were the schools, or that had cats. Right. Sorry, all the colleges had the cats in the mascot. And then I think we pivoted to like cold countries from there. And I knew for a fact that like all I had to do was hop into the Discord, or literally like hop into your guys' like Twitter like replies, and like people are coming up with like cooler names for things like stray cats. I'm like, I'm just gonna they're coming up with way better names than I could. It was just so fun to see that there's an appetite for those sort of like kind of game within the game. I'd love to do more of that, but
I agree.
No breadcrumbs in the play descriptions yet, but you just gave me a good idea. So,
dude, the tattoo cats was probably the most. That was like the peak of the Cool Cats theories. Was when somebody dug up like, all right, here's the players that have tattoos of lions and
tigers and cats, or the people who own real cats.
I gotta say, I googled
people
that.
own real cats in real life.
I'm like, like JaVale McGee owns a cat. Like maybe.
Yeah. All of a sudden, his moment goes up like $5.
Yeah. No,
that was good. Good times.
We could chat about that forever. So many more questions on that. We'll have to do a specific pod just about that stuff, because I have so many more questions for you about that. But we do got to keep moving. We are supposed to do rapid fire. Rapid fire famously is always not very fast because we're starting it late. So guys, let's get into it. Still has the old logo on rapid fire. Okay, anyways, market moves. There's been a lot of speculation lately that things are rumbling at Top Shot. I have famously been going on at like midnight my time and going on a buying rampage of some what I consider to be very affordable all-star moments like Trae Young's for $5 and stuff like that. Phil D, do you think? Oh, and we also retweeted a nice thread from a Twitter user earlier, kind of breaking out why they think that the Top Shot market is ready for some kind of explosion as people come back to Top Shot and new people come into Top Shot and all the problems have been fixed and it's kind of gearing up. Austin, I know you can only give us so many words about that, so I'll throw it to Phil D first. Phil D, are you feeling the early I guess feelings of a buzz on Top Shot?
It's funny because the way we predicted the offseason when we really didn't know what was going to happen was that, people were asking us, should we buy this? Should we buy this? Well, we said, listen, there's probably a month or two coming up where there's nothing happening. So you may be able to grab some deals somewhere later in the summer when things are really dead. Top Shot's not making a push anymore until the new season comes, and they're kind of gearing for the 2021-2022 season. But that hasn't been the case. Top Shot has not taken a day off, really. If you look at what goes on, there's almost been more activity than there was at some times late in the season with the summer league stuff, and we're still using the playoff packs and stuff like that, right? So It's easy to get excited. It is exciting that people's account valuations are going up because that gets people in a good mood. When people are in a good mood, they want to spend Dapper. They want to buy more things. They feel the project is going to be successful. We know it's going to be successful. We know it's going to be around for a long time, but it's just a way people feel a lot better once they see valuations go up. It is what it is. When account valuations go down, that's when all the haters come out. People say you did this wrong, you did that wrong, you did that wrong. Everyone wants it to be like February. Not happening, right? Obviously, a lot of things people want to fix. Everyone has an idea of what they want to fix or what went wrong. But yeah, no, I think it's definitely positive. It's got me positive for sure. And it looks like we're going to be active from now till the start of the season. It's a short off season this year, which looks like it's going to work in Top Shot's favor because there are not too many holes to fill. I assume training camps are going to start sometime in the next month and a half, and then it'll be the season. So it looks like people are still really engaged in the platform, and market activity is reflecting that right now.
Absolutely. Austin, any commentary at all you can offer on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think, and this is exciting just like as much for us as for anybody. We're starting to see the first real taste of like in real life utility, which I think has just sort of reminded people, oh, hey, this is like one of the very cool benefits that Top Shot, as like being in partnership with the NBA, is able to sort of dangle these carrots and offer these benefits as part of the package. So having, the finals trip, the draft stuff, and then Vegas, people are. I think that just that gave people a lot of confidence that they were. The project that initially caught their interest, like it caught their interest for a reason, and you can watch your account like valuation go up and down, but at the end of the day, most people got into it just because they loved the game, and now to see all these different ways that Top Shot can connect collectors to the game, like I think that really helped. And now wondering, of course, everybody's talking about what the other things could be, myself included. It's not a teaser for anything. But I think just officially closing the books on Series 2, that I think that's a big sort of milestone as we now look forward to the future.
Absolutely.
People can take stock of everything. So I think a lot of things sort of overlapped and to help the excitement. So it's fun to watch.
That's a good answer, Austin, and it's what I expected you to say. And lucky guy too, man. You were in Vegas too, right?
I was. Yeah.
That's nice. Yeah,
that
cool.
was fun.
Yeah, I was on the Team Hold show last night, and they were telling me about their experience there, and it definitely kind of had that vibe you're talking about, where it's like, okay, it feels more real now to be like to actually have the kiosk and all that stuff, to be there and to see new fans and current fans and people on the platform kind of all come together and start to chat about it. That's what they're saying. Like that made it feel so much more real, taking it into real life.
Yeah.
Austin, did you have people coming up to you saying like, hey, I'm so-and-so, and you're like, oh, damn, that's you? Like I'm imagining the first real meetup where a bunch of, hundreds of collectors show up. You're good. A lot of people, it's not obvious because they use Top Shot avatars, or they use all sorts of different things. They got apes, got different projects like that in their profile pictures. Did you have some people come up to you and you're like, oh, wow, that's you? Not because of it, not because you didn't think they'd look like that, but just because you've never really known what they look like. I'm just trying to get a feel of how it's going to be the first time we all go to some massive event and meet everybody when we don't know how 90% of them look. I think it's going to be strange.
Yeah, no, honestly, man, it was so bizarre. Met Packrip, of course, in Vegas.
Oh yeah,
and like he introduced himself by his like IRL name, and I'm like, I know,
get that out of here. No, nobody wants that.
Wow,
is
that how
no
we're
IRL names, man? Yeah, there's no real names here. Come
on,
just exactly.
I found myself like trying to get his attention from like across the room. I just don't even feel right saying his IRL name. I'm like, Packer.
Man,
it was a blast. So many collectors that, and even to this day, I was thinking about this just the other day. There's some people who, I've probably talked to dozens of times on Discord or Twitter. And then I met them in real life and learned their real names and didn't sort of get that sort of translation of this person equals that person. And now that I'm back home, I'm seeing the Twitter names, and I don't even know, like, are you the person I just spent like like a week with in Vegas? Like, I don't even know because I didn't ask. But it's just
tough, man. Yeah.
But
I was gonna say that even that
right.
happens to us sometimes, where we get people DM us on Twitter, and then in Discord they start talking, and they're like, "Hey, yeah, I asked you this on Twitter the other day," and I'm like, "What's your name?" And they have different names on both, and I'm like, "This is why you have to make it."
I've been embarrassed by that so many times, man.
Exactly.
I act like I don't know somebody because they're using a different name, and then they're like, "I'm like, oh man, that's you." Yeah, okay, now I feel bad, but
we're gonna need Phil if we ever go to any of the games, we hang out with any Top Shot people, we're gonna need we're gonna have to ask people to have like 3 name tags, like real name, Twitter name, Discord name, and Top Shot username. Like you need a giant.
Print your profile picture, whatever you have as and put it on your face as a mask or something like that. Or get those big fat heads they have, like Kyle Lowry ones and all that. Like, make that of your profile picture, and you walk around with that on day 1 of the first Mint Fest. And we got to know who people are. I cannot believe Packrip gave you his real name. We only know him as Packrip, man. He's got to go. He's got to stick to that, especially that name, right? That's a name you'll never forget. So
he's got to have because he's got the Patrick Ewing All-Star Freak, so he's got to have that as his face or something like that.
Yeah,
we're like, hey, I thought you looked different.
Yeah. Wait, you're not actually Patrick Ewing.
Yeah.
Okay. Next topic, and this is we might stir up some rumors here. But there's an interview that came out the other day from some digital fan conference that has Katie from Dapper and Adrian from the NBA, and they're talking about building Top Shot together and all the great stuff they've done and how crazy this year has been. And then there are some quotes from that panel that may allude to what is coming up next on Top Shot. I'm going to read it to you word for word. Phil, you may not have heard this yet. And Austin, just if you react in any way, you're giving it away. I'm just telling you now. We're looking to add content to the platform. We're going to be making announcements over the coming weeks, and this is August 9th, over the coming weeks, making it a richer and deeper product in terms of content available. It will bring in a new demographic to the platform in the near future. What does that mean? New demographic. Phil D.
I don't know. Look at Austin. You told him not to react, and he's just sitting there like stone cold. Like, what? Yeah.
I've never heard that.
I don't know, man. I don't have guesses on this one. That has not been discussed in Phil's theories in the Discord channel. So I really don't know, man. I need some nuggets. You got to give me a bit of fuel on this one, because I don't know. I don't really know.
I just think what new content. I don't know what that means. A lot of people in the chat is starting to say WNBA, and that could be the new demographic part as well.
Yep.
Austin, any kind of like Morse code you can give us, some blinking or anything like that?
Morse code.
I mean, I can say, at least in terms of the timeline, like a lot of people, the whole company are working real hard, really busting their butts to get some stuff out soon. So I don't think it will be long before we get those answers. And I think like it's sort of we've been sort of gathering our stride, now that we're in the off season. I think you're going to see a lot of cool stuff, not just one thing. Obviously we can't do live NBA content during the NBA off season. So
that's fair.
But we're busy. We're working hard, and I'm super excited about it.
Okay.
I have to agree with that, LG, because like I said before, man, it's like, I really thought there'd be a lull. We talked about the lull and how nothing's going to happen once the season ends, but man, we're getting quests left and right, and there's something to discuss. I continuously see influencers posting about Top Shot and stats. The stats charts are back, all that stuff, man. So definitely kudos to the Top Shot team for keeping that going and giving us something to discuss in the offseason, because we really predicted there'd be a period of time where nothing happens and it'd be really boring and prices would probably drop even more and all that. But hey, man, we're still alive here. I love it.
Well, I think we said that as well, Phil D, because I think it's also, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but Austin, I don't think I think we expected you guys to kind of follow the off season as well, right? I think even you were saying previously at Slam, you're like, okay, great, it's off season, like I'll follow free agency and then I'm going to go do something else for a couple months, and it's like I think we kind of expected, we're like, okay, there'll be 3 months, you guys are going to take that time to build, and we're not going to see too much, and we're all going to take this long break and then come back in October for Series 3 or whatever. But it's clear you guys had other plans, so I like that. Okay, last one for rapid fire, and then we're going to let Austin go. We ran this poll the other day. What is the next surprise on Top Shot, or what happens next on Top Shot? Let's see what the results were here, and this is kind of based on the podcast from Monday. Okay, rib drop was 38%, rake back 35%. Daily stress test, 14%, and trade tickets, 13%. Phil D, are the fans of the first minute of the followers and the NBA Top Shot community, are they looking on point here or what?
I mean, daily stress test. I don't know who came up with that. I mean, daily stress test was back in the day where things were like a disaster and drops were not working.
That may have been me.
The bandits were making away with those legendary packs. Those were the days of the daily stress test. I think we're beyond that now. I don't think we're going to see many stress tests unless there's stuff to give away. So no, not that one. I would have picked that one first. Run it back. It's hard because we pick up on nuggets that Jacob says and things he says in office hours. And, you know, again, kudos to Jacob only for the simple fact that every word he says will be locked in a vault and brought back to light if they don't happen. And we saw that this recent week, man. People are going crazy on Jacob the last couple of days because of stuff he said back in February and March, right? And a lot has changed since. So I feel for him in that way that, you know, he's always got to defend what he says, and even if it's off by a little bit. So we expected run it back because he teased it during the season, as in it was coming this season, might be coming at the end of the season. I don't think it's coming anytime soon, to be honest. Then someone said, "Oh, Michael Jordan." No, that's not happening anytime soon either. And what were the other ones? The rake back, man. Every time the site goes into maintenance, people think it's rake back, and they're like, then they go right to their Dapper balance, like, "Oh man, it didn't happen." And the other one was the tickets. Tickets, I think, will happen sometime during the upcoming season. I don't think it'll be now in the off season. I think all of the above are nowhere near anything that's going to happen this summer. People go crazy when I say that because that's not what they want to hear. But these are things that probably take a little bit more time to roll out, and maybe run it back. It might surprise us somewhere, you know, in the next couple of months. I don't know. I would say that none of the above, but maybe Austin can touch on that a little bit.
Well, I wouldn't say none of the above.
Whoa! Uh-oh, chat's gonna go nuts. Wow! We need a bomb. Where's Quad? We need like a bomb to explode on the screen, man. Like some huge A bomb needs to drop. Look here, the chat's gonna lose it. Watch what you say, Austin.
Let's use that to do the giveaway. Chat, this is the giveaway. You got to type in hashtag. What did you say? None of the above. No, what did you say?
Not none of the above.
Hashtag not none of the above.
Wow, they're losing their minds already. I can see the chat's picking up right now.
Well, yeah, I mean, no, we're psyched to be working on fresh content. We've been working around the clock to get some fresh content out there. Excited for it to come. I don't think it'll be, you know, too long for people to see it. So, I mean, I want to be outside enjoying the nice weather, but I'm in here working away. So it's for a reason, a good reason. We're excited.
There we go.
I can see Jacob just smiling somewhere because he's like, all right, I'm glad he said it and I didn't. Because if none of the above happen anywhere in the next 2 months, Austin, you thought your ads were big when something's going on in the NBA, man. Your ads are about to explode if nothing happens in the next 2 months, man. But that is encouraging because people are just like, they need something. And I think they'll get pretty excited about this one, man.
I love it. Oh, here we go. Mike _G503. You got yourself a nice Luka Doncic moment coming your way. So make sure you DM us with your username. Austin, it's been a pleasure, my man. Thank you for coming on. We'll have to do a longer pod and dig into the great work you're doing because I want to hear some more about that.
Of course, happy to share anything I can share without getting fired. So
any parting bombs you can drop before you go.
Parting bombs. Just generally, my ats are always open on Discord and Twitter. Hit me with any sort of your favorite basketball moments from current season, from historic seasons. I want it all. I always want to be able to hear directly from
which specific historic season would you be looking for?
Something before 2019, definitely one of those.
Oh, wow. All right.
Okay. All right.
Appreciate you guys.
Austin, thank you, man. Guys, give him a follow at Austin Kent on Twitter. And shoot him, like you said, shoot him your thoughts of what kind of moments you want to see. If you don't like the description of a moment, he's the guy to go for. If you do love the moments, and I got to say, I've heard so much positive feedback in the last while about the quality of the moments, the slow-mo, the length. People are loving that stuff. So great work to you and the team.
Thanks. Appreciate that.
All right.
See you, Austin.
Cheers, Austin.
See you guys. Thanks.
LG, you know what's going to happen. Now he's screwed. His DMs are going to blow up. It's not going to be with what he just asked for. Yeah. His DMs are going to blow up because of what he said, that one of the above is coming soon or is not happening. So, man, people are going to be asking him for just nuggets, hints. I don't think he realizes what he just did. Our audience is pretty cutthroat. And now forget Jacob. They've got their sights set on Austin.
He's the new guy they're going after.
Yeah, so Jacob must be so relieved, man. Now all the pressure's on Austin, and we'll have to bring him back on in like 3 or 4 weeks if nothing's happened, and we'll have to have him answer to the people again. But always good to hear from him for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh, it's good. I think we got to do that more too. I like having more people from the Dapper side on. I feel like we always get something good. It's always nice to peek behind the curtain a little bit, even if, and then kind of like we teeter on the brink of getting a scoop, but not fully. But we kind of guess a little bit. So I like that.
I like it.
All right, now I know a lot of people in the chat have been waiting for this. So let's just give a bit of backstory here. Okay. The other day, I'm just going to pull up the tweet. Okay. This is what Phil tweeted. A couple eyeballs on this tweet from Rohan. Okay. Mysterious tweet where we didn't know what's going on. This is a mysterious video. Phil posted these eyeballs.
Well,
Phil D.
Hold on. Little context. A little context.
Give us the context.
Context here. The reason that caught people's eyes is because of the word drop. All right. It says drop in there. You know, drop. There's a lot of people in the NFT community, when it says drop, they'll be there. Doesn't matter what it is. Now, what caught my eyes, it looked like the inside of a nightclub. All right. Okay. And you know this, LG, and you're the same. You've been out and about around the city of Toronto and other cities. We used to go clubbing all the time, man. So it really cool stuff. Yeah. You know, you've had some nights out on the town, and we're not going to talk about those, but look, listen.
Last week we already showed my planking photos from Vegas. So
that was enough. Yeah. We're not going back any further than that because it could get a little messy. But I just saw a nightclub and I heard music and I'm like, man, this is different than the others. This is not another avatar project. People love those. Don't get me wrong. It seems nobody's getting enough of those. And every single new one that comes out is pretty successful and causes a stir. But I heard kind of dance music. I thought nightclubs. I'm like, hold up. This is different. Second thing, Roham is retweeting it for a reason. He must be invested in this, or Dapper has some sort of connection to it, or else he wouldn't be retweeting it. Trust me, it's obvious when he's up to something. And you know me, I'm everything Flow, I'm everything Dapper, everything Roham. No matter how much we complain about other NFT communities or projects, Top Shot is still at the top, no matter what. Okay, Top Shot is still the biggest deal out there. Although obviously money-wise, the apes and some of the other ones are obviously up there in the gazillions of dollars.
Absolutely.
Top Shot platform-wise is like, So I trust them. I trust them with everything. And I'm always looking for new projects that are either sports, celebrities, music. That's my interest in genies. And I saw this one, but I couldn't find any info. And when we dug for info, I finally made my way to the Discord that night in the record shop Discord, which is already hard to find. I think Quad is the one that sent me there. It's like, oh, they're saying this in the Discord. I'm like, what Discord, dude? I looked. I couldn't find anything. And you had a couple moderators or developers in there, creators, and they wouldn't say anything. They're like, you'll get your news tomorrow at 11. I'm like, the drop is at tomorrow at 11. So what do you mean we're not getting any news till then? I love it, though. You know me, man. No news, no pricing, no info on what we're buying. That's my style. And people are still asking me, why would you ever get into that? Why would you get into something that you don't know anything about? Because we love it, man. That's the whole point. So legitimately, up until that clock hit 0 on drop day, nobody knew what was going on. All right. Nobody knew what it was. And so that's the story behind that tweet. It caught a lot of people's attention. I've had a ton of people, tell me that they found this project because of that tweet, which I love to hear because that's why I tweet. I honestly don't necessarily go in with a lot of money myself because I just enjoy the projects and I want to see how they go. And I actually legitimately enjoy this, LG. I love when other people, have a shot at something like this. When it has success and we were able to guide them in the right direction, I think that's what the whole First Mint community.
You were Phil D. You guided everybody.
It was good,
in the
man.
right direction to what was going on. I just got to share this. We've got Obi waiting. He's going to come out. You guys are going to help us.
Obi is like, man, this is like one of the biggest celebrities we've had on the show.
I just got to talk. Like, this is Phil. When you posted this is a couple minutes before or like a few hours before the drop, or like I think just a couple minutes. Was this like an unofficial tweet here? So then you're like, I like that this tweet is like, here's all the info, here's the countdown, and then also here's screenshots of secret info from the Discord.
Well, here's the deal, okay? I'll tell the true story there, and LG, you probably have different thoughts on this, but I talked to this specific person that was connected to the team, and I said, listen, I found all this info buried in your Discord from early in March, explaining exactly what the drop would be in July, which ended up being August. And I said, are you okay? Can you confirm any of this so I can put out a tweet so our viewers and listeners and followers can get in on this? And he said, for so-and-so reasons, I prefer you not tweet. So I said, I wrote back because, there's sponsors involved, press involved, all that. He didn't want me to tweet anything. So I went back and I said, listen, I'll meet you at the 10-yard line. Can I tweet 10, 15 minutes before? No, I prefer you don't tweet anything. I said, okay, well, I won't respond to that one. All right, cool. So listen, out of respect.
Clearly doesn't know the First Mint and how we
well, here's the deal. I do respect people's jobs. I respect people's jobs. And I don't want people getting in trouble. But I was able to publicly find this somewhere public, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh. Phil D.
Right? So, this still after.
I think, did I freeze or you froze? Somebody froze.
I don't know. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Okay, we're good.
So, I don't really know what the story was behind the whole thing. But anyways, I said, okay, I'll wait till 5 minutes before. He'll be too busy with the drop, and I'll just drop this thing. So, yeah, what was that, man? Who's messing with my internet, man?
It's Matt's saying that they cut your internet. Uh-oh. They're trying. Obi, what are you doing to Phil's internet, man?
I got an idea.
Whoa.
Hold on. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you now, man.
Okay, I'm going to reconnect in a special way here where we don't have to mess around tonight. No storms or anything. All right. You should be good now. All right, I'm good. I'm connected. Yeah, Obie's had enough of this.
Yeah,
he doesn't want to hear these.
Trying to take you down from explaining where you got all the secrets.
So basically, I was able to find that these were going to be like cards or collectibles because we didn't know what we were buying. So I posted that tweet. And I think the fact that I posted it late probably allowed a lot more people to get in, because had we started this hype the night before or even 4 or 5 hours before, who knows how far the info would have spread to the point where so many people show up that some of our followers who got 80 packs or whatever it was would not have been able to get 80 packs. So honestly, completely blown away by the project. I don't know if it's because I hype myself up. But I don't think so, because I do that a lot. I do that for all the sports projects. But there was something special about this one, and we'll get more into it with Obi when he comes on. There's something special about this one where this could really be the future of music and art creation, everything. It's so many possibilities that I think everybody else is seeing it. It's not just me. My hype alone cannot carry a project or any of that. People have to actually believe in it and see things for themselves to really like it. So I just wanted to clarify that as well, because people keep dropping my name everywhere. But listen, people love it. You're not telling me you don't love it. Mm-hmm. Don't just say you love it because the real Phil D loves it. You love it because you love it. So,
well, let's get him out here. Let's get him out here. The man behind the project, the CEO, and also one of the artists featured on the platform. Chat, please welcome to the First Mint Live, Obi Fernandez. Boom. Whoa.
Wow.
Wait, hold on. Oh, there he is.
Wow.
No, other way. There we go. There we go.
There he is.
Wow.
Amazing.
He's
wow,
real.
He's real.
It wasn't Roham all along. He's a real guy.
That's incredible, man. I can't believe we have you on. I mean, I can't tell you, Obi, how many.
There we go. I got you, Obi. I changed the view.
Cool.
Yeah, that's good. Obi, I cannot tell you how many requests we had in the last 24 hours to have you on our live show tonight. I'm not even joking. Like, we get a lot of nonsense messages, but people are like, the real Phil D, you guys are not doing it right at the First Mint if you don't have Obi Fernandez on that show Thursday night, because the record shop drop has completely taken over people's lives. And yeah, you're the not. Hold on, before people ask us what's going on, not only are you the creator and CEO, but you are actually part of the project, and people can buy Obies off the market. Like, and we're talking popularity wise, Obi, you've reached like LeBron levels here, man. So kudos to you. Welcome to the First Mint. We're super excited to have you. And congratulations, first and foremost, on what looks like a really, really successful debut for Record Shop.
Thank you, guys. I'm honored to be here. Man, I'm kind of speechless. Even the thing with the Obie cards, completely unexpected. I swear to God, I've had team members be like, "This was your plan all along, wasn't it?" And I was like, "No, I swear to God." It's just like this little thing.
Listen,
But,
the NFT community is undefeated like that, Obie. They find something they like, and that's what happens, man. I'm sure you kind of knew that a little bit, but that's you got a cool project, you got a good vibe, and people will find it.
Awesome. Well, we're doing it for the love of music, man. Like 80 to maybe 90% of my team, we're all producers and DJs ourselves, and you know, a lot of us are just very, very experienced with startup life and have had successful projects and successful teams and exits, and it all came together. So, I mean, man, I'm humbled by it, and at the same time, like, I kind of knew it was going to happen this way. I don't want to sound conceited or whatever, but it's like a manifestation of what this team has been working on really hard for the last 4 months. And the vision has been pretty consistent from the beginning that we would be able to produce like a whole new way of thinking of marketing and distributing your music, and that it would be a lot just more not cost effective, but just a lot more productive, you know, for musicians to operate in this way, have a connection with their fans this way. Obviously, you guys know what I'm talking about. But when we go out and talk to the artists, I mean, they don't see outside of that paradigm. Most of them can't break free of the paradigm that they're in. And the paradigm that they're in is so stupid. Like, you know, I'm an artist myself. I make music. I go into the studio, I make what's essentially an artisanal product, right? It's like a one-of-a-kind thing. I work on it for weeks, for months. This thing that's valuable, right? This piece of music, I want to share it with my fans. So then I turn around and I give it away, you know, at 99 cents a pop or at 0.005 cents a, you know, stream in unlimited quantities, you know, in an undifferentiated marketplace, along with all the other crap that came out that day, the 70,000 tracks that got uploaded to Spotify that day. Like, why would I do that as an artist? You know, when we go out and talk to musicians and go, why would you do that? They're like, I don't know why I do this. It's stupid. And we're like, yeah, it's pretty stupid. Like, why don't you do something else? I don't know what else to do. And I was like, we got something else for you to do. So like the first couple were pretty hard to convince. And then like once, you know, they started getting it and telling, you know, and signing up, and then, you know, it's been a movement. And man, I gotta give thanks to my team, and especially to the partner team led by my partner, Eric, and Paula, our head of partnerships, and they're both co-founders of the project. Paula's got a long history in artist management. And it's like I was telling her yesterday, we were kind of reflecting on the success of the drop. And I said, Paula, I wouldn't have done this project if you hadn't told me that it was going to work. And it took me 3 hours to convince her it was going to work. Like, I was driving back from the airport, and I was talking to her for 3 hours, and she spent 2 hours telling me why it wouldn't work. And then she spent the next hour discussing why it could work. And then I talked to her the next day, and she was like, I couldn't sleep. I see the vision now. This is going to work. Like, we have to do this. And,
oh, nice.
So cool, man. And, you know, Obie, there's so much to dissect. And I kind of want to give the listeners and our followers an opportunity to kind of know what Record Shop is, because that's probably the most common question we have. Is like, we see you, the real Phil D. You're hyping this thing up like crazy. Others are hyping it up. We feel like we're missing out, but we don't even know what this is. And I said, well, listen, we don't really know what it is yet either. But if you could really, you know, 101 it down, Obie, before I talk about the actual drop, if you could really bring it down in the easiest words possible as to what Record Shop is in your own words, I think a lot of people would appreciate that, so they can have a better understanding of what it is they may jump into when this next drop comes. Because I think I have a feeling a lot of people are sitting on that wave that's in the middle of the ocean and ready to crash the beach. So,
wow. Okay.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, yeah. All right. Listen, when I started working on this, I don't mind saying, I was like, I'm going to do NBA Top Shot for music. And I was like, there must be a million other people thinking they could do this, but I'm the one that's going to do this because, you know, I have a technology and music background, and I've done startups with foreign investors, stuff like that. So that's what we started working on. And that's what I told my team to build as the minimum viable product, right? Like in startup circles, we have this term, minimal viable product. What's the least amount of functionality we could put out there? So what you're seeing right now is the least amount of functionality that we could ship with. And Eric gave us like a hard date. He was like, we're going to spend all this money on PR and and marketing and like having the right artists and everything like that. And we have to give them a date. So we had a hard deadline and the team worked really hard. And what we delivered, what you're looking at here is just an image of the first drop. Our first drop was a pack.
Yeah.
It contains 6 collectibles. One of the collectibles is a special gift collectible that's not going to be in any other one. It's kind of like, marks you as having been in the first drop. You know which one that is. It's the one with the
here we go. This one. Yeah.
Yeah, these things started selling, man. When people started realizing they'll probably only be in this drop, I'm not going to lie. They were selling for $3. They went right up to 10 and above, and I think they're still around that level. So people kind of caught on to it right away. So very, very cool to include that in there. I think it's very special for sure.
Yeah, there's some hints about what utility that might have in the future. I'm not going to say anything else about that. But since you're on the platform, for those people that are watching on Twitch or seeing the video of this, like what you see there is a face of the card. So our collectibles have a front and the back. The back ties it together to the card set that they're a part of. The set in this case is just a 1 card set called Welcome to Record Shop. And then if you own the card, you're able to open it up and look at the inside. If you just go back, if you click open one of those cards up, and what you're looking at is the faces. So this card has 2 internal faces. And some of the cards that you see on the platform are a lot more internal faces. They can have like almost an unlimited amount of internal faces. And those internal faces can have videos. They can be tied to photos. Eventually, they'll be able to be tied to other kinds of multimedia content. They have tracks. The music on the site, if the content partner has decided to make their music available as music on the platform, and they can be tied to any collectible, then you can stream it or download it. We don't confer rights. We're not going into the whole copyright or ownership aspect of this. It's just like buying a collectible CD or a box set or something like that. And I specifically didn't want to do, I didn't want to make the whole site about singles, like just individual tracks. Individual tracks, MP3 files are devalued, right? You can pirate them. You can stream for free. They're 99 cents, even if you want to buy them or whatever. And it's old and busted, right? Like downloads stopped being a thing like 10 years ago. So what we're looking to create is the next format of engagement between artists and fans. And of course, you guys are kind of natives to Top Shot. You understand that there's this bond that can develop between you and your collectibles. And what we see happening is that bond that the fan can have with their collectibles can actually have tangible results and effects on how they relate to their artist, and their favorite artist relates to them. Right? It's a living thing. So it's not just collectibles. And here's where I'm going to be a little bit, careful on what I say. But I've been dropping hints like crazy.
Hold on, Obi, hold on. We got to get our audience ready for this. Okay, everyone's got the paper and pen out. Anytime you say you shouldn't be saying something, you see how the community acts. All right, so I'm giving you, our audience, a chance here.
All right, so
take out your little notebook.
Do you have a flip flop or a beer bottle?
I knew those are special, man. Pull those up, LG. Pull the flip flops, the bottles, or
hold on. I bought a bunch of these.
Look at this.
I don't. I have like penguins and stuff, man.
Okay, go to the search. Go to the market and search artifacts.
Beer.
Sorry, I don't have one.
Or beer, yeah.
Beer, okay.
Specifically the beer one. I like that.
Well, yeah,
here it is. Okay,
right, there you go.
That's a okay. The floor. Okay, let's go. Let's go to the affordable one here. Okay.
So what's the utility of having a beer bottle? Mm-hmm. If you go to clubs, that's all I'm gonna say.
Wow.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Wow.
You can drink it. And then get another. Obi, I mean, so a huge hint here that I think we haven't talked about is what is this coin in the corner of the cards?
Oh, wow. We're moving fast here, LG.
What is this? Well, it's the first thing that sticks out. I'm like, that's something, and you see coins like that, you're like, there's some kind of game or something like that, right? Like you see coins like Mario and all that. So
yeah, there absolutely is a game, and there absolutely is the concept of your in-game score coming. And there is absolutely reasons that you will want to work on your in-game score. I'll leave it at that.
Okay. I like it.
I will also mention a little nugget, which hasn't really been talked about publicly, but this first drop was a little different because it had like a gift and stuff like that. But eventually what you'll notice is that the face value on the card in coins corresponds to the retail price of the pack. So like if we drop 5 cards that have a 2 coin value, that's going to be a $10 pack.
Oh, wow.
Got it. Okay.
Got it. And I know people are going to ask this right now, Obi, when's the next pack drop? Can you tell us?
We will be announcing the schedule for the next pack drop tomorrow.
Awesome.
Wait,
What is the info we have?
Hold on, but it says it right here, Obi. It says it on the front page.
Oh, we announced it.
Whoa! Look at
I got scooped.
Wow,
Look at
LG.
me. I'm not the detective.
Whoa.
I'm at it.
Look at that. Hold on. This is for our viewers who can't even see that. The next drop is Wednesday, August 25th. Obi, what happened there, man? Wow. Hey, he wanted you to see that, LG. I think that was on purpose.
Yeah,
No,
that's the bomb. That's the bomb.
So
Obi's pretending like he doesn't know.
What's not revealed, which we will reveal tomorrow, is the parameters of the drop. And basically the time for signing up. You definitely want to pre-register. We can talk about kind of what it means to have low pack, serial pack numbers. And probably, hint, you probably want to talk to me about what it means to be able to sell packs, because that's different than anything you've experienced before, I think.
Oh yeah. Please tell us about that. And hold on, let's go to it, because you can go on the market here.
I just want to say before we even get into that, because I have to follow the comments in the chat. Someone says, "Poor Obi, you look like you probably haven't slept in days." And I just want to say, from the first day, right at drop time, and LG can attest to this. LG comes strolling into my Twitter Spaces, and he finds Obi.
So can I just rephrase? Strolling. I woke up into your Twitter Spaces.
That's what I mean. He rolls out of bed.
And within 2 minutes, I was in the Twitter Spaces.
He's getting blown up by messages about this drop. He enters the Twitter Spaces. And I think you even side messaged me. And I said, yeah, that's the creator and CEO. He's actually in the Twitter Spaces, which never happens. People don't ever join.
How does that never happen? Isn't that like a no-brainer or what?
Well, hey, listen, I'm glad it's as authentic as it gets, Obi, that you feel that way. Because I can tell you right now, from all the projects we've dealt with, and a ton of them we've dealt with, there's no one with your visibility and your accessibility like you've had over the last 3 days. Seriously, there are no CEOs and creators hanging out in the Discord 24/7. The ones who do hang out in the Discord, they're there for 5 minutes. They let you know that was all the time they have, and they're long gone. You spent that opening day from the Spaces at 11 o'clock, or sorry, it was at 12. The drop was at 11. You were in Spaces by 12. And then 11 or 12 at night, you were still in the Discord interacting with all the collectors and the fans of the project, which is outstanding and kind of what you want to put on the blueprint for future project drops, man. It really is. It's incredible. And we're not just blowing smoke here. It really is. We're used to everything that's the opposite of that, pretty much. So huge kudos to you. And I wouldn't be surprised if you didn't sleep. And I do have to say, I felt your emotion that day, man, of the drop. It's not a joke. We kind of feel it tonight too, but we felt your emotion of everything coming together. And again, anyone who hasn't heard me tell the story yet, Obi told us in our Twitter Spaces that they originally minted 500 of these packs, and they did not expect to sell them out on the first day. And here we are talking about 500 or 5,500. Absolutely insane. It's nuts for sure.
We were overwhelmed. I mean, we were trying to just not get high on our own supply. I mean, obviously we thought it was really cool, but we just didn't imagine that many people would be into it. And, hats off to you, Phil. I mean, you did an amazing job. I didn't even really know. I didn't know who you were. I recognized your handle, but only because you had messaged me maybe like 2 or 3 days before or something. And I had pretty much completely ignored you. I'm sorry about that.
Because I was trying to dig for the same information that I dug with the rest of your team. And they were all telling me, no, you can't release it. So when I saw you post in the Discord, I'm like, oh, that's the big boss. I'm going straight to him. And I went to you and no response. But that's okay. I get it, man. I totally understand it. No offense there.
I mean, and I normally respond to anyone who messages me.
That's right.
But I was just so slammed. I mean, you can imagine. I didn't sleep. Now, I mean, before I didn't sleep because we were working. Now I can't sleep because I'm excited. Like yesterday, I woke up at like 4:30 and tossed and turned, and like by 5 o'clock, I was like thinking of all the cool artifacts that we're dropping and like what they're gonna do. And like by 5:30 or something, I was like, fuck it, and then I just got up, and I start responding to customer service emails. So like by the time my team wakes up, they're like, Jesus, you're a machine. Were you up all night responding to them? I had sent like 20, 25 emails out. But I mean, to me, it's just that's what I'm here for, not to answer customer service, but to be engaged with the community. I mean, this is like what happened today was amazing. And that was spontaneous. I was not like planned at all. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Hold on. Before we get to that, there's a few other quick stories I want to tell, and then I want to talk about your airdrop. Okay. So
too many stories, man.
Just to give a few more details about these NFTs, what I think is really cool, obviously for like music and whether it's similar to Top Shot, however you look at that, is that once you're in there, when you hold the card, you hold the songs, right? So now we got Obie's card here, and we can listen. I think you guys should be able to hear this. You guys hear that, right? So you can actually listen to the tracks, and it's the same thing for all the artists. I think that that's like kind of the coolest part, is that how easy and seamless it was to kind of like log in and have the tracks like that. Oh, I just couldn't turn it down. There's a lot of, okay. It's every time we play music, every time we do pack drops or whatever, the music is way too loud for whoever's playing it. So, okay, let's listen to it for a second. Let's listen to some Obie's tracks for a second. I just think that's like the coolest thing, man. And then also, Obie, I think you did so well, is that then I can then navigate the site while still listening. Oh, wait.
Except for the market.
Except for the market, yeah. Where have you been, LG?
Yeah.
Where have you been?
No, because I went to, there you go. I can go to my collection and that kind of stuff. So I love that.
I think, Obie, you changed the way people go to work every day, because we had people telling us left and right that they originally joined the project for the hype, but then they got really into the music, man, which is the most incredible thing for me, is that they love the product. They love the product.
God, you know the reaction that had on us when people started saying that. Like, there were some people who were like, I thought I didn't even like EDM, and I love this music. This is changing my life. Someone was like, I listened to this 3 times over. I was like, what? But you know what? That's so good, because that's like part of the core premise, is that we're engaging with fans, right? Making new fans. Like, when our artists, content partners see that, how do you think they feel? They're like, holy shit, this is a whole new avenue to make new fans, you know?
Well, it's making fans and also the ownership of the product, right? And that's where it's like, even we saw that happen in Top Shot, where it's like, hey, there's tons of people that are actual NBA fans now because they liked the idea, the gamification, the pack drops, the experience of Top Shot. And I think you guys are going to do something similar for EDM, right? Where it's like, you're right, like maybe some people haven't listened to EDM in a while, or it's not their cup of tea, but now through the idea that they've had this great experience, it's collectibles, they love NFTs, they're going to be into it, right? And they feel like, and especially, you know, when the artists like you are in the Discord connecting with them, that gives you such an immediate connection, way beyond just, I don't know, just cruising Spotify and finding some random music. Like I think that that's kind of what we're locking onto here with these NFTs, like yours and Top Shot and everything else. It's like you're going to make new fans of new artists and projects and genres through NFTs. Like, NFTs might unlock a layer that makes people a fan of something where they weren't a fan of it before.
God, that's like music to my ears, pun intended. I mean, no pun intended. I've been following a lot of other music NFT sites, and I was actually like, I'm an OG on a site called Tune, which died and got resurrected as Rocky on Binance Smart Chain. It's a streaming, kind of like Audius a little bit. Mm-hmm. But the problem is, it doesn't have anyone. Like, you know, this is entertainment. It's driven by personalities. It's driven by people who have draw. So when we started like, if there's super, super cool crypto music projects like DAO Records. I could rattle off a whole bunch of other ones, but they're experimental, they're left field, or they're like super highly curated, where it's like these artists that no one really follows except for, you know, maybe a small following. And we didn't want to do that. We wanted a big mainstream draw like Top Shot, like with millions and millions of fans coming in. And that's what we went for, right? And that's also part of our competitive moat, and why we don't really see anyone else able to do this. You know, like, by the time they even try to catch up, I mean, people are like, are you afraid of Quincy Jones with his $69 million of, you know, the OneUp platform, whatever? I was like, yeah, I mean, no, not really. Like, you know, first of all, most of that money is probably going to go to secure, you know, some of those big name artists to come in. And second of all, they don't have the team I have. Like, we have now I think close to 60 people around the world. And they're all super, super talented, deep music industry connections. They make music themselves or they're DJs. Awesome technical experience. So what you guys maybe don't know or I haven't mentioned is like I have a very successful 25-year career in technology. I'm like literally a well-known published author within my niche, and I've worked on some really big successful startups. I mean, my last big startup I worked on before this was a company called Andela, which now operates in 14 countries around the world and is in the process of training 100,000 young Africans to be software developers. Our investors included Mark Zuckerberg, Al Gore, Serena Williams, and I was the CTO of that project, in 2014, 2015, getting it off the ground. Like, we're used to doing things in a big way. So when we came out, I can curse on this show, right? Is that okay? But like,
you can do whatever you want, man.
Whatever you fucking
Absolutely.
want, man.
Like in the beginning, when I was on Clubhouse, kind of hyping the idea and like recruiting. And Clubhouse, by the way, was amazing. It's gone down the shitter now, I think. Or I haven't had time to follow it.
What happened to
Rest in peace. Rest in peace.
Twitter Spaces came along. That's what happened. It was already native to an app that everybody used. So yeah.
Man, during the glory years of Clubhouse, let me tell you, it was incredible. I recruited so many people out of Clubhouse because I was in Clubhouse rooms just being an obnoxious guy, like ragging on the industry, like talking about how it needed to change, the new narrative, what we were going to do. I said, like, the people that were in Clubhouse, if you were in Clubhouse in the early days, you know everything that we're planning. Like, I gave it all away. And I was like, I don't even care. Like, this needs to happen. Even if it's me or anyone else, this needs to happen. I gave it all away. And people are like, why are you giving away all your secrets? I'm like, because I'm the only one that's going to be able to do this. And I wasn't saying that in a like conceited or arrogant sort of way. It's just that I knew that the stars were aligned on this one. They say like when a startup's going to happen, like when startups are super, super successful, they just work. Right? Like, and in this project, everything has just worked. Like the talent that's come in, great, man. The content partners that are there, and now this in the community. So they were like, are you surprised at success? I'm like, well, frankly, I'm not that surprised, but I mean, it is really nice, of course, and really excited. And I'm like, why am I not sleeping now? I'm not sleeping now because I'm so excited. I'm like a little kid.
Yeah, we can tell. We can tell from the very beginning, Obi, how excited you are. And I think it makes it a lot more genuine and authentic to have a leader that actually shares the passion. And I think what I've noticed the most is how you connect with your audience and with the people who have concerns. You don't just ignore the concerns. You actually reply to them. And I've told a couple of people this in the Discord. I've told people this in private messages. I go, listen, the fact that you're even being acknowledged on what you care about and things that you're concerned about by the CEO and creator is already miles ahead of anybody else. The team we saw you one night actually in Discord while on the website making coding changes on the fly based on what people you were asking people, do you like this? Do you guys want this? All right, I'll make that change. I'm making the change now. Like that is a first ever. I can't even tell you how crazy that was and how cool that was to see. But I think what a lot of people want to know, I found a very interesting quote in your Discord, Obi. And I've been sharing this with people, and maybe you can tell me if that's part of your vision. I saw the quote that said, Napster, Spotify, and then Record Shop after. Yeah. Can you touch on that quote a little bit? Because that hits hard. People remember Napster. Everyone says, oh, the college days, blah, blah, blah. LimeWire, people even said, things like that. And now obviously we know Spotify, but we've had a few people, including LG, say Spotify is kind of outdated a little bit now, and it won't be the thing in a couple years. And then I thought that quote was amazing. If you could touch on that a little bit, the Napster, Spotify, Record Shop, is that part of your vision?
That is the vision. That is the vision, guys.
I love it.
It's awesome. The status quo does not work for anyone except Ariana Grande, Justin Bieber, etc. There's nothing wrong with pop music. I love some pop music. I'm a kid, an 80s kid. The first record I ever bought was a 45 of Madonna, La Isla Bonita. I'm down with pop music. I'm down with pop stars. I think that no matter what, they're always going to be fine. What I'm not down with is, well-regarded, well-loved artists that have 10, 20 year, plus year careers, people that we love. And during pandemic, because they can't tour anymore, they're literally selling studio equipment. People with hundreds of thousands of fans, million plus fans, and they're selling studio equipment because they can't tour, there's something fucked up with this equation. So that's what we set out to do. And I think that's going to resonate, right? Like I hate to rag on Bieber and Ariana Grande. It's really not about them. But like basically, like if I'm fans with Solarstone, let's say, who's one of the artists on the platform that I want to give a shout out to for supporting us right from the very beginning. If I'm a Solarstone fan, like my girlfriend is, and she listens to Solarstone day in, day out, like almost 24/7, her $14 that she pays to Spotify, like all of that money is still going to Justin Bieber and Ariana Grande and hip hop stars and
So
all
true.
the people who dominate the major labels. And like maybe half of 1 cent is going to to all trans artists in aggregate. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's a fucked up situation. That's something that I think if it's not us, someone's going to crack that nut to say, hey, this is the wrong situation for the world, because we're destroying an entire cultural legacy. Like it really does make sense to talk about it in those terms. Like the pandemic has caused legions of working musicians to actually leave music and go into other careers because they just can't put food on the table. And that's fucked up. And I think that having that as a foundation is what's propelling us. I mean, right now, you guys are in there and you're having fun and you see the potential, and you're looking at a lost flip-flop and you're like, what could this mean? And stuff like that. And like, wait till you see the next set of artifacts. You're going to blow your mind. Like, we're doing stuff that has never been done before, and which is so cool. And that's going to blow minds. But at the root of it, our prime directive is to help artists, to help working artists, people who love the music, connect with their fans, make more money from their music, not doing a funny dance on TikTok, not having to get outside of their genre or get to the lowest common denominator. It's so annoying. Like I got a manager when I was working on developing my career. I got a manager, God bless him. He was trying to help me. He's like, dude, you got to do this. You got to do a photo shoot. I want to see you in different clothes and like fucking change your image and stuff like. I'm like, dude, I want to be real. Like, I want to be, fuck that shit. Like, I'm not young. I'm a guy in my 40s. I have a successful career. He's telling me to do all this stuff that's not me. I told him to fuck off. Like, but if you're young and you're trying to make it and you have your artist management or your record label telling you to do all this stuff you don't want to do, that's screwed up. Like there should be ways to authentically connect, and that has to be rooted in the music. And I think that's what you'll see in most of our collectibles. If you go through our collectibles, we're trying to leverage the creative output of the artists, right? Their music, their creative vision. Some of those artists are more conceptual. Like we have the Fat Rat coming up. You guys know the Fat Rat? Huge following.
But I can't wait to find them. Okay, Obi, I gotta cut you off because we have to keep going.
We have a hard
man.
stop.
I love.
We could go for hours with Obie. We really could.
I love your passion, man. I love hearing about.
Just
this.
invite me back, man. I'd love to come back.
Ready to do it. I'm sure Phil is going to throw up another like 20 Twitter Spaces for every drop you have. So,
and I'll bring Obie on every single one of them. I just had one more thing for him, LG, because people want to know. Obie, does your vision also include music genres past the EDM music, or is it mostly focused on that for the time being?
It absolutely includes genres beyond electronic music.
Very cool.
The reason we're doing electronic music with Record Shop is because that's where we could make a really big impact. The people who are real fans and look at the list of artists, like there's some news articles floating around right now that have like 40 names on them with our launch artists. The people who look from the industry, from the electronic music industry, and look at that list right now are going, holy fuck. And if they're doing music NFT projects and they expect to compete, they're shitting their pants right now because they know that the people we have, and this is just scraping the tip of the iceberg with what's coming, is like seriously legit. Like most of those artists on there have hundreds of thousands of fans and followers and stuff like that. They're really legit artists. And that's the way that you build momentum with a community. That's why NBA Top Shot was able to become big, right? Like if NBA Top Shot had done the software that they did, but without the stars, they would have never gotten anywhere. Mm-hmm. Correct?
Oh
Yes.
yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely, man. Yeah. Well, it's that, and it's also building a slick product. But I think Dapper has always had a great idea about how to build that community and bring people in the proper way.
That's
And
true.
I know some people were, Phil, you were complimenting Obi for being so involved in the Discord, and some people mentioned this in the chat during that time, and is that early on Roham was very active as well in Top Shot. Now Dapper has grown insanely in the last year. He's clearly busy, pitching Michael Jordan and stuff like that every day. And there's tons of stuff growing in the Flow ecosystem, like you guys, Obi, that I think he's a little busier now. But
by the way,
thank
you, Roham, for that support, and thank you, Dapper Labs. They've been freaking awesome. I can't,
there you go. Right. Like there's a lot of other work to be done on Flow, but it definitely in the early days, like building that community and building that traction, and even listening to really hyped up people like you, Phil, I think is a big key to that success. And then also delivering the vision. And Obi, it's clear your vision is sound there, and that you see a way through for a new like paradigm in your industry, and you've got that like kind of great message to kind of send around that's really hard to kind of argue with, right? At the end of the day, right? And music is something that's been at the forefront of how digital has changed for us, right? Like for some of us since we were kids, we were teenagers, from CDs to Napster to then everything else until now, and it's still changing, and it's still kind of always kind of at the front of what we're going to be doing next.
I kind of want to ask you guys a question, if you indulge me for a minute or two. Like I see pretty significant differences between the communities and the leaders like you guys and influencers with NBA Top Shot and what's going on with Dapper and like other crypto projects. There's like some pretty significant differences in the way we see the world, right? Like I don't consider us degenerates. No, and I say that really seriously. Like we're trying to create a fun project that leverages crypto in a smart way, that leverages decentralization, everything that NFTs have to offer, that leverages the Flow blockchain and everything that's available because it's crypto. But the point of what we're doing is not to just fucking pump a coin and make a bunch of money with crypto. And I think if you look objectively at a lot of other projects, not to throw shade at anyone in particular, but if you look at a lot of other projects, the point is not the music. The point is not the art or the engagement with the fans. The point is to create a successful crypto project and everything that would entail. And that, I think, makes for a really big difference. So I don't know if I'm delusional or if you guys also see some of that.
I think there's a lot of layers, man. I think there's some stuff like you guys in Top Shot that's like, we're building a 100-year product. That's what we're doing. But at the same time, like a lot of the ideas, the utility, the functions, the gamification and stuff like that, it's like we need all those levels, I think, to kind of push the industry forward. And even what you're seeing now with like, the profile photo craze, which is dying down finally, is like, well, at the end of the day, despite a lot of those being cash grabs, rug pulls, it's like, I think that we've still moved forward as a community and as an industry, and you're still going to see a lot of projects learn from that and adopt some of those practices into maybe a longer term institutional product as well. So I think it's kind of like you need kind of all those levels of stuff.
I love your nuance.
It has to be good and bad,
awesome.
and even the hacks, the rug pulls, all that kind of stuff. Hey man, that's got to happen. Like we're in the Wild West right now. We got to learn. There's lessons that have to be learned for everybody, and that stuff has to happen so that people can learn to identify good projects from bad projects, right? So I think that all that stuff.
One thing that really hit me in the earlier conversations we had, Obi, and the spaces that you came into, is that you asked people how they got into NFTs, and 99% said Top Shot, and that is the case. That's where I started with NFTs. That's where almost everybody found out about NFTs. Aside from LG and his crew of real OGs who knew about this for ages ago, we all figured it out through Top Shot, which brought the sporting scene in and a few others. But the music industry has yet to even touch that. And you made a really interesting comment at some point saying that one of your interests was to have people own their first NFT through Record Shop, like they did with Top Shot, and that be their entry point to NFTs. And the fact that it's, a lot of people told me, I really love this. There's no gas fees. We don't have to worry about that stuff that you have to worry about for all these other drops. Yeah. So I think that's where it's authentic. And this really could be the second wave of entry points for NFTs that hits a different crowd than just the sporting scene, who, let's be honest, a lot of people don't know about basketball. They got into Top Shot, but you're looking to hit a whole different range of people, completely different. Now that you're getting the amount of different cities I saw was incredible.
I got to cut you off. We got to move on.
Okay.
Obi, it's been a pleasure because we're almost at the end of the show. We still got to get to the Tools of Rock guys. We keep talking music.
That's right. Yes.
Obi, I'm sorry to cut this short. We could talk.
Yeah, no worries, guys, man. I'm back on whatever you want.
No, Phil, no, there's no more one.
Just one.
No.
I have to know because we may never see it again. No. What about that elephant, man? Did you put that up knowing I have a llama up in the background and people go crazy for I see an elephant in the background behind Obi, and I want to know if that was a counter to my llama. All right.
There you go. There you go. Phil, you're going to get a llama NFT in record shop.
Yeah, that's right. Thanks, Obi. We appreciate
you. Guys are awesome. Thank you so much.
Congrats again, man.
Obi. We'll see you again soon,
Thanks
man.
a lot. All right, great.
Okay. All right. That went on for a long time, but it was worth it because Obi is a special one. So that was really
And let me just say, I did not ask him about mint counts because he already clarified this in his Discord, Discord, that the team was working on it. They don't have an answer right now. They're listening to the people and their concerns, and they will make a decision based off of that. Obi is for the people. I can tell you that. So you should expect good things when it comes to the current mint count of all the collectibles. He's listening to you guys. Believe it or not, he is. And I have faith in the decisions they'll be making. So they're looking into it. There is no answer.
Absolutely. And I think from everybody, the First Mint and everybody who's in our Discord and stuff like that, we want to say, Phil, thank you for kind of bringing this project to our attention. Absolutely. Because it's been a special project and clearly Obi, has the right intentions here and is going to be building something special.
I agree, man.
Okay. We're going to move on. We're on the music theme tonight. There's another awesome music NFT project dropping in the next couple of days. Quad on our end has been on absolute fire with loving this project, getting us in on it. They've got a mint pass that they are handing out shortly to people who were early adopters in their Discord. So those people are going to get to mint some of those NFTs early before everybody else. Please welcome from Tools of Rock, Belfour and JJ Lane. There they are.
Wow.
Hey, guys.
Yo.
Wow. All right, here we go. It's been a while since we've had just an ape avatar on the show.
Well, we had a bonsai not too long ago. So yeah.
We did that, but the bonsai night was nuts, man. Gentlemen, what's going on? You guys are gearing up to a big launch in the next couple of days, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's this journey is it's crazy. Yeah, we're dropping our mint ticket tomorrow. But first of all, I just want to say it's hard to it's like the opening act is following the main event, and it's really tough when you come after Obi. So hopefully we're not a letdown for your audience.
No,
man. People were so stoked, man, for the double, the music double. I'm telling you, man, we had people all day saying, "So cool you have Obi, but it's so cool you have these guys coming on as well." So we don't see it that way at all, and I think our audience agrees with that, man. They're super stoked for what you guys have to share with us tonight.
That's the thing. And I also let's jump in. Is as the profile photo craze dies down, people are looking for other stuff. People are starting to get into like more obscure art and OG projects. But I think that there's definitely like now it's like people are like, when are we getting some music stuff? Right. So it's just like we got Obi bringing in like the long-term vision of like really bringing, some good value to the artists and the fans. And then we have you guys creating just some really like the art and Quad has went nuts about this the last couple of days. Just the art you guys are putting together is super cool. So I have your Twitter open. Is there a site we can look at yet? Is the site live or is that still secret?
Yeah. No, yeah. Toolsofrock.com.
Oh, it is toolsofrock.com. Okay.
Yep. We're live. Actually just published the white paper.
Okay, let's take a look here and tell us
recently
what
here. So
you guys are launching. Tell us all about this.
Yeah. So first thing, my wife's in Columbus, Ohio. Babe, I know you're watching. Big shout out. Love you. And no one's envious of you being in Columbus. I'm sorry. So
whoa. I used to live there. Watch out.
That's true. Phil did used to live there.
That's okay. I mean, I have no attachment. So yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. So what we're really building in high level is when we started this over 2 months ago, it was actually terrifying because we weren't saturated, right? We didn't have a full zoo on our hands with avatar projects. And, at this stage, I joke that Noah didn't even put some of the animal avatars on the ark, right? Because we're so far down that line of animals, and it's just homogenized. And so we just wanted to do something that we liked and that we were passionate about. And music seemed like the most logical. I was a video game guy and I liked music. And so it was like, creating a video game was way more complicated than trying to figure out a way to integrate and bring music into the metaverse. What we're at from today versus 2 months ago is so materially different. And the project and kind of the longevity of this has changed so materially. But at its core, it's amazing generative art that is throwing nostalgia to rock and roll history. And we're lucky enough that music gives you volume. So, our first launch is volume 1. And so we want to start the journey. 1964, the Beatles on the Ed Sullivan Show. That's where rock and roll changed, right? And that's where our beginning starts. As we kind of in 1979, that sets us up for our volume 2, which is coming down the road. And then it opens the door to doing, multiple projects, to doing a greatest hits, to doing the anthology collection, right? To partnering with record labels, with artists, to doing so many unique things that we think as personal collectors and Deegans and fans, we want to own, right? And so that's kind of how we took this project. Is if I was buying an NFT, what would I want to buy?
Is it?
Uh-oh.
Are you asking?
Sorry, no. Oh no, I was just saying. Yeah,
I was like, that was a rhetorical. You were asking yourself that question.
Yeah, 100%. And then I had to get a beverage.
I thought you got muted.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
There he goes again with the sip.
Oh, my wife's texting me. She's probably telling me to
Oh,
stop
the
drinking on
shout out.
Twitch.
All right. So since we're kind of just getting a preview here through the art, what exactly can we expect in the drop? Like, what are we going to be getting? Because you're giving us kind of like the history of the rock, but what are we actually going to get in these NFTs?
Yeah. So if you scroll up a little bit there, as I'm looking at your page, a little bit more. So right there, we're trying to break this out. Mm-hmm. So what you're seeing here is that kind of typical shadow box. If you walk through, Capitol Records, the hallways that have the gold records, the platinum records on the wall, we wanted to kind of create that iconography and that visual. And so we've got obviously the background, the vinyl, as you see, an album cover, a guitar pick, and then down in the bottom right corner, we have what we call rock history. And then we've got our year that's kind of on the plaque. 3 of those things don't come on every single one. So, like an ape, right? We're trying to have the equivalent of the 4 trait to the 7 trait. But within each one, like that background, we spent extensive time researching, really just the era specific imagery, colors, to try and capture the time. Right. And so, same thing with the rock history trait. We went through and cataloged the top 50 events, album releases and concerts that occurred from 64 to 79. And so we've created custom rock history traits there. So if you've got an event, it'll look like it was ripped out of a newspaper. It might say, Jim Morrison dead at 27, or it might say the Beatles break up. If you've got a concert ticket, it might be Bob Dylan playing at Newport when he plugged in electric and really shook things up. And you've got this ticket. And if it's an album, it looks like you have something ripped right out of a Billboard Top 100, and it shows, Abbey Road on kind of the top of the charts. And so that's kind of the direction we went. One thing to point out is our album covers, we take the copyright very seriously. And so we basically, all of our artists have created their own custom interpretations of these 22 album covers. So for us, this was something that we put so much time and effort into.
Mm-hmm. That's very cool, man. How many artists do you have working on this?
We had 5. I would say that most of them weren't able to kind of meet the quality that we wanted. And so we're really, really blessed that, call him our artist or art director, just teammate, friend. Cam is I mean, he's basically taken over everything at this stage, and everything that you see is his art, and it is mind blowing. The attention to detail. There was one thing to call out. It was really cool. It was a rock history trade. It was the Altamont Speedway when the Rolling Stones performed, but the Hells Angels showed up, and there was some violence, right? Well, if you zoom in and you look closely on that ticket, there's little blood splatters on it.
Or the one I'm looking at right now?
No, you can't see.
Okay, I was like, this doesn't look like that.
No,
but the one that's going to come out, that's going to be
maybe you'll pull that one.
What?
What's that, Belly?
Maybe you'll mint that one.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. And real quick, I mean, obviously we got Belford on here, and none of this is possible. Like, we're not even sitting on this podcast. We don't have the art. We don't have the website. None of it, if it isn't for the team. I mean, we've got a team that's so dedicated and committed, and so want to give a shout out to the team. And Belly, you're on here, and you should at least say a few words here. So you're never outspoken.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is the first project I've ever been on the team for. It's been an absolute blast working with JJ and the team so far. JJ called me a few months ago with the idea, and I was absolutely enamored with it. We've been working on it ever since. I mean, this is JJ's passion project. We're here for the long run. He's not anonymous. He's putting his reputation on the line for this. We're leveraging some real world connections. We have a really long-term roadmap. The team's awesome. We have the community in mind, and we're pumped to get rocking.
Nice. Very cool. I think it's really cool, man. You guys are getting some good comments in the chat too. People saying this looks really slick. So I think that's pretty sweet. So what's the plan over the next couple of days? Can you guys just take us through that and kind of tell us like where people got to go?
Yeah, great question. And this is something we struggled with. It was funny because when we first started it up until a week ago, I was in just stressing out, cold sweats, waking up thinking no one's going to like this. No one's going to buy it. And now we've come like somehow crossed this threshold where we started getting this viral demand, and people were begging and knocking down the door for it. And when we realized that, as honestly as collectors ourselves and people that pay a lot of money in gas and minting, we knew we had to find some way to create a pre-sale and to head off as much gas wars as we could. So we created this mint ticket. It's the coolest thing. I mean, it looks like the coolest concert ticket, and Willy Wonka got his hand on it too, right? It's like this awesome golden ticket. We've opened that up. That's kind of our pre-sale piece. That will be able to be minted tomorrow. Our Discord right now, we actually just opened up a few more slots. So if you're listening and you want to get in our pre-sale, get over to the Discord. We've got that happening right now. So you can get your mint ticket because we're going to cap that here probably around, I don't know, I want to say, I'm on Mountain Time. So probably around midnight Eastern Time. So hustle over. But yeah, we're going to mint that ticket. And then that will give you kind of a freedom, a window on Saturday, Sunday, and probably into early Monday morning, where you can at your leisure mint up to 4 tools of rock. Unrevealed, metadata won't be there, but you'll have them. And then primary sale happens Monday. And, my wife and I will be just on pins and needles and terrified and riding all kinds of emotions. And I don't even know how to mentally prepare for it. So it's going to be crazy.
It's all right. As somebody who dropped a bunch fewer NFTs, I can tell you there's no way to prepare for it. It's super stressful. So, but this is cool, man. I like this. I like this a lot. And I do like the mint pass idea. We're starting to see that more these days, where people are rewarding the people that were kind of supporting them early, that were in the Discord early. We're seeing that on Punk's comic and a lot of other projects. And I like that a lot. So cool. Good for you guys for kind of, implementing that. To really help reward the people that have been there from the start. Because obviously now you've got like 20 NFT drops per day, and often they get people just show up at the last second. They don't even know what they're buying, and they're like, I'm just buying it and flipping it, whatever. So you guys are you're going to reward the people who've been stoked about the project for a while. So I love to see that. Yeah,
no, and we appreciate the acknowledgement. I think we're all products of our environment, and we look at Punk's comic, frankly, is say what you want about Beanie, but we look at Punk's Comic as somebody that, or, is a brand that is every day trying to find ways to add value to their investors or their collectors. Right. And that's the model that I think most of these companies, like, that's the difference. The bifurcation is most of these are projects. The things that you just talked about, they're simply projects. What we're trying to build is a company. And I think kind of being able to separate, mentally that, like, hey, these guys are building something. This drop is only the beginning. This is, I joke that our Tools of Rock Volume 1 drop is the candy cigarette, to the heroin that the end of the roadmap is going to be, right?
Wow.
And I know that's aggressive.
I hope it doesn't end the same way that heroin ends.
Well, it'll be a hell of a ride. Let's put it that way.
Wow.
So that's kind of how our plan, right? This is long-term greedy. And we want to be building for the collector. I mean, a story, my dad, he has a sprinkler repair company out here in Colorado. He gifted all of his employees. He's buying them one Tools of Rock NFT. This is their first NFT. This is their first entrance into the space. He just got my grandmother, who's 90 years old. He was over at our house. He got her set up, right? I swear she's probably going to be the oldest person ever to own an NFT. But that's the thing. Like,
hold on, JJ, hold on. I don't know if you remember the early Top Shot days, man. There were people putting videos of their 110-year-old grandmas somehow landing legendary packs because they had accounts. So I don't know about that, but it is really cool. I get your vibes. Sorry, I just had to throw that in there.
No, so she'll be in the top 50, let's say.
Let's say.
No, for sure. Still very cool.
I don't know if that's something anybody wants to claim, that be the oldest person who owns an NFT. I don't know if that's something anybody actually wants. So,
I think the takeaway, right, is we have I look at the employees. I look at my grandmother, for instance, right? I look at my brother. We've got great responsibility, and I look at the rug pulls. I'm sitting on some bags personally myself, and so it's like, what can you do to kind of at least do your best to protect against that? And so that's been our mentality from day one. And then also I saw some in the chat, they said Ryu or Blanca because the Street Fighter machine. I have to just tell you right now, it's always Ryu. So it would never be Blanca. So thank you guys.
They see everything.
Oh, I love that. Right on. And I will say, and also another thing, just a general commentary. And I think most people who are watching this are pretty stoked about the project. I'm stoked about it. Also, full caveat for anybody watching tonight. Obviously, most of us are in on these projects. I know there's been a lot of controversy with the community voices not disclosing if they own the NFTs they're promoting, but obviously Phil and I made it no secret that we have a bunch of the record shop stuff. So know that we own those. So whether you think that we're pumping them or whatever, we're happy to discuss with the founders and kind of show off the product and all that kind of stuff because we like the projects. And same thing with these guys, just so you guys know, with Tools of Rock. I am going to have some mint passes, a project that got on my radar about a week and a bit ago with thanks to Quad. Make your own decisions, everybody. It's not an endorsement. We're just talking about projects that excite us and that we really like on the show. So just want to throw that out there. And I also just want to say, JJ, kudos to you. And Belfour, maybe one day we'll get to see you. But I think more and more these days, it's like we're just going to see a separation of projects of people literally willing to show their face versus people that aren't. And it's not that people aren't allowed to be anon, but I think in general, especially after the whole Russian guys thing and whatever, it's like I think that's just going to start to matter more and more. And also, I think it actually does really help. It helps the project tremendously. People want to hear from the people running the project. They want to hear from them. They want to hear what they have to say. They want to hear why they're making the project, what their intentions are, and kind of not look them in the eye, but see them on stream and see if that's somebody they kind of want to invest into their vision too. So. JJ, it's great to see you, man, and thanks for kind of sharing what you guys want to do here. Yeah, no, really appreciate you guys having us on, and we take the anonymity. I mean, my team is protected; they can disclose themselves if they want, but I knew that 100%. Like you got to have the guy that's liable, right? The guy that's got the most stake in the game needs to show his face, and when things go south, you got to be responsive and transparent, and when things are going good, you still got to be front and center. So. It was never a question for us. But obviously it's touchy in the space. And it was funny today, some guy was calling me out for being anon. And
was like, I don't know how I could be any more visible. I mean, you Google me and you probably can find my address in about 2 minutes.
Watch what you say, man. Again, I'm going to tell you, our listeners and viewers are savage. They may look up your address and send you a chicken pizza or something. The way Alex Rodriguez received a chicken pizza a couple nights ago, $130 worth from someone called Ben. So that's all.
What are you, Phil?
Hey,
look it up, man. Look it up.
There's no trivia on this show, but Phil always finds a way to pull up the most obscure thing that's happened. I love it.
Please, my wife's out of town for another week, so I'm starving. If someone wants to find my address and send me food, I'm in.
Let's send this man a pizza for a big drop on
Watch
Monday,
what you
man.
ask
Send
for,
him a
man. I'm
pizza.
telling you, JJ, be careful.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen, toolsofrock.com. Go check it out. Quad and I are going to be minting some stuff pretty early. We got the mint passes coming our way, and the rest of them are going to be available Monday. JJ Belfort, it's good to see you guys. Thanks for coming on, and best of luck with the project.
Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. The comments were hilarious. You guys rock.
Thanks
Take it
so
easy,
much,
guys.
Appreciate
Have a good
it.
one.
Later.
Okay, bye.
Oh, man.
Wow, what a show, Phil. We're
What an
rocking out on
insane
this show,
show,
man. We are rocking out on this show. Chat,
can't
you
believe
guys have been awesome. Let's do one final giveaway before
Whoa,
we wrap out here.
final
Well, I
giveaway.
mean, we only did one giveaway so far. Chat, if you are still there, Phil, what are they typing in the chat? What are they hashtagging?
Let's see. What are we putting in tonight? I don't know. You're good at coming up with those ones.
Well, hold on. I'll tell you. I have an idea then. I am not going to be here next week.
Uh-oh.
I'm going away. I'm going on vacation. I haven't seen my family like Phil since 2019. So I'm going to go see them. We're going for a little vacation, a little time off. There's still going to be podcasts. You're still going to hear the podcasts. Those are still coming out. We pre-recorded a few really great shows that are going to be coming out over the next 2 weeks. And then next week, Phil is going to be back on the live show. People are just hashtagging whatever now. People are hashtagging chicken pizza.
That's a good one.
Anyways, I will not be here next week, but Phil will be here with a special guest co-host. And it's TBD as to whether I will be there the week after either. So anyways, the live show and the podcast will continue. I will not be as active, but chat, it's been great to have you as usual. So I was going to get you to hashtag LG's vacation, but looks like the hashtag is going to be chicken pizza. So hashtag chicken pizza, put it in the chat for
True
a chance
story.
to win another Luka Doncic. I think it's a 35K LE or 40K LE. There we go. There's the chicken pizza. The horde of chicken pizza is
People are
making
going
its way
nuts,
in.
man.
I love it. I love to see it. Phil D, any closing comments? This has been a hell of a show, man. I got to say, Obie, even though we got to find a way for when people are going to be like a really great interview, like he was, we got to find a way to kind of stretch that because we always have like a bit of a time limit on the shows, but maybe we'll have him back for a podcast or something like that where we can chat with him a little bit more in depth because he's got some great stuff to say.
There's just too much to ask him. There's too much to discuss because of the excitement we all share for the project. And I think we feel his excitement. And that's when I say projects are in good hands because forget the money for a sec, right? Yeah, you made some money on the drop, but you can tell that that's not what the intention was here. This is a genuine way of trying to get artists a different exposure and a different way of making money and all that, right? And I think only someone who's experienced that or been around that type of industry, like Obie, would be able to understand and really take into value when developing a project. So for me, it's this is exactly where the music industry could be heading one day. Again, that exact quote of Napster, Spotify, Record Shop really hit me. And what we didn't even talk about, LG, is that it's all going to be a game at the same time. On top of the good music, on top of you owning tracks or DJ sets and all the stuff we've seen in the last couple of days, you're actually going to be playing a game at the same time. So really cool. We found out the next drop. For those who missed it, we found out the next drop is August 25th. I didn't see the time, but I'm sure hopefully it doesn't take it down. I hope you screenshotted that. I know people are paying attention, but now we have a date to look forward to. You're going to be on vacation. We'll have to schedule something for that day, either a Twitter Spaces or something, but I have a feeling the floods of people are coming in to that drop after seeing what happened with the first drop. And now after seeing the product and where it could head one day, and him telling us that all the types of music will be involved, man, this could be huge.
Absolutely. I agree with you. And again, I really meant what I said. And it's projects like this that made me realize it, that it's like, we might be becoming fans of stuff that we weren't big fans of before through NFTs. That like the experience of the NFTs, the smoothness, the design is actually, I've listened to some EDM in the past, but I haven't lately, but I've been enjoying listening to these tracks from the NFTs that I own. And then I'm like, all right, cool. Like Obie is the CEO. I want to listen to his, like, I want to go to his show. You know what I mean? Now I'm like, I want to go see that guy live. Like, like it's made me want to go to EDM shows. Right. So,
well, you never know, right? The first Mint Fest presents the Record Shop Festival.
That's right.
You never know, man.
We'll have to do another first Mint Fest one day. So who knows? Yeah, we'll need some, if it's in person, we'll need some musical artists for sure. So, all right, Phil D, it's been a pleasure. I will not see you. Well, I will see you IRL soon, but I won't see you on the show.
That'll be pretty wild.
You will be with a different co-host next week. And that's it. That's it for us. Thank you to the chat. Thank you to producer Quad for putting together another awesome show and for everybody bringing on the guests. And NFTs usually get the craziest at the end of the week. So best of luck, whatever happens tonight and tomorrow. And who knows what's coming next on NBA Top Shot. We got some maybe little subtle hints from Austin there at the end of his interview. But we're in for a good time. And we'll see you next time on the First Mint.
Your search is over, now welcome to First Mint. Looking for NFT content.